My friends, Soul Tribe reading time. I'm here. It's Monday. I'm here. I said I would be here on Monday, and here I am. I didn't clean up after my last reading, so I'm just going to clean up while we're chatting, but I wanted to come on and talk to you. I think we're going to read a little bit from that book, and we'll just get a deck, an oracle deck, because again, I know that there are a lot of people here, or there are a few new people here that were never part of our soul tribe when, like, they weren't here when I was doing the soul tribe readings before I stopped doing them. So yeah. So how was your weekend? Tell me how your weekend was. Soul tribe readings, I do try and be in that comment section. I know I've been trying to be in my comment section more and more, but soul tribe readings, I do tend to look at the comment section, or like hang out. Like after I post this tonight, I'll hang out in the comment section for a little while. Sometimes even like I forget the readings I do. So sometimes with soul tribe, after I post it, I'll actually put it on and I'll listen to it, because sometimes I forget what I said, especially with reading. I have a hard time with like comprehension, like reading comprehension. So sometimes I have to listen back what I read to you, because when I'm reading it to you, I'm not always retaining all of it, if that makes sense. But yeah, I hope you guys had a good weekend. First, I want to mention that movie that I watched yesterday. If you didn't see that post, The Wild Robot. I keep wanting to call it The Gentle Robot, which makes sense. She was a gentle robot. But that movie made me cry. And somebody said the books were way better and the movie didn't do the books justice. So maybe I do need to read the books, because I thought that movie was very powerful. It spoke to me on a very spiritual level. She crash lands on this planet where she feels like she doesn't belong. Hello, Starseed. Feeling like an alien on planet Earth. And I'm not going to give away the movie. I'm just going to explain the things that I took back from it, took from it. But she like crash lands on planet Earth in the forest with all these animals. And as someone who's like obsessed with my animal deck, I was like thinking about the deeper meaning behind that sun is really bright and it's creating this shine on me. Anyway, no, that's just my light shining. I was thinking about all the spiritual significance of the animals in it. Like she befriended a fox, and he was, I felt bad for that fox. But anyway, I was thinking of all the spiritual meanings of all the animals that she was befriending. But she crash landed on planet Earth, and she had a mission. Like all the robots that are like her have a mission they have tasks that they need to carry out. So she had a mission. And again, I just think of like soul mission. I really related to that robot. Right before I started it, I watched the promo, and one of the first, halfway through the trailer, she says, "We are more than we're programmed to be." And I was like, "Wow!" Anyway, so she crashes on the planet, and she goes through like a dark night of the soul where she's trying to find her footing. She's trying to, do what she's programmed to do. And she ends up having, like, to me, it was like a dark night of the soul. And she starts to change. She starts to like want to do more than what her program is telling her that she is capable of. And I just kept thinking of like how I always talk about how we're heavily programmed human beings. And that part of awakening is reprogramming yourself, or breaking down that heavy programming. And, she was walking, again, I'm not going to give anything away, but she was walking through the forest, and the fox would be making comments about how other people were acting. And she would be like, that's just their programming. That's just what they were programmed to do. It doesn't make them bad. It's just their programming. And like, I've never related to a movie. I mean, yes, I have. But I related to this robot. Like I related to that robot. And anyway, the whole movie is just her. I'm not going to tell you the whole movie, but it just has to do with that, about how we are meant for more than we're programmed for, or that we're programmed to believe we're meant for. And it was about her breaking the mold and breaking that programming, and bringing people together. And like, it was just, there were just, it was just, I'm getting emotional just thinking about it. There was this scene where one of the animals said, you know, I love this person, now it's too late to tell them. And one of the animals said, our heart speaks when our mouths and mind can't. So just know that your heart can speak to this person and tell them that you love them. And it was just, clearly it moved me. And like, I spent the whole movie crying. And actually, by the end of the movie, there were 5 people watching it in my family. And by the end of the movie, 4 of us were in tears. Just, again, maybe I should read the books, because people who read the books said the movie didn't do the books justice. And I thought the movie was amazing. So the books just must be mind-blowing, you know? Anyway, so I really wanted to recommend that movie, about how, again, I posted that thing. It's about shifting from what we were programmed to believe into what our soul, like coming from our heart and our soul. So just beautiful movie. And I really related to her. And again, I just, all the the numbers that she was given and the animals, I was just seeing like all the spiritual significance to it. It was just beautiful. So anyway, and I also had something else kind of cool happen to me, which I will mention here, because it's soul tribe reading. I had my mentor, and I feel like such a fangirl. Like, I feel like it's a little bit, anyway, I don't even care. I had my mentor, who I've never spoken to, and like, I've never actually spoken to her and told her that she was my mentor. And I had just received a comment in my comment section. Like I said, I'm working through my comment section, because for a long time I avoided my comment section because a lot of people like to tell me that they don't like my personality, and I get it. I'm a lot. Like, my light is bright. I'm very authentic. I get it. I used to be triggered. I was triggered by my mentor because her light was very bright and she was very authentic. And for a while I was like, no. I didn't want to watch her. But it was because something within me was like whispering, you could be like that, you could be authentic. Like, not meant, like, my ego and my programming wasn't telling me that. But I feel like I had that part of me that was hidden within me was kind of like threatened by that, because that part of me wanted to be freed. Anyway, so I had just received some comment about how some person really didn't like the way that I talk, and they didn't really like my personality, which is fine. You can't please everyone. And I was feeling like, again, I'm still working through that wound of knowing that other people's opinions of me is not a direct reflection of who I am as a person. It's about them, and not everyone's going to like you. And again, I'm really working on that. So please be gentle with me. Like, it doesn't matter. I'm still working on it though. Like, I still have those triggers. So this one comment, like, in the moment, it was like triggering me a little. And I was trying to remind myself, like, how many times a day do people tell me that they love my authentic self? Like, it overpowers the amount of people who tell me they don't like my authentic self. And I should be listening to, I know all this, so please don't be hard on me. I already know all this. Again, it's something that I need to work through. I can't just snap my fingers and like not let people's comments get to me. I'm facing them, I'm working through it. But I was letting this one little comment get to me a little. And then I just said, thanks for your feedback. And when I refreshed my comment section, my mentor was in my comment section, and I like dropped my phone. It would be like having a movie star like talk to you or something, like someone super famous. Like, I'm not saying she's a movie star and she's super famous, but it would be like that. It felt like that. It would be like that. Like, it was just, I saw the comment and I dropped my phone and I was like, oh my gosh, oh my gosh. And I burst into tears and my family was like, what's wrong with you? What happened? Did somebody leave you a bad comment? Anyway, it was my mentor who, again, when I watch her from my personal account. And I've never told her she is the reason why I started my tarot channel. I admire her so much. And there she was in my comment section telling me how amazing I was and that she's surprised she didn't follow me before because my light is so pure and authentic. And I was just like, I was fangirling. Like, it was one of the, I don't know how to explain it. Like, I just don't know how to explain it in normal words, but it was just it's a memory that I will never forget. And then I replied to her comment and I said, you are the reason that I started my channel, and you are the reason why I just can't put into words the impact that she had on my life. And I've never told her that. And the fact that she just appeared in my comment section, it was just mind-blowing to me. And it was one of the most amazing things I've ever experienced in my life. So I just wanted to share that with you. Again, I kind of hope she doesn't see this because I'm fangirling big time, but it was just amazing. And then I took that opportunity to talk to her in my comment section. And now when I watch her readings, I went and watched one of her readings and I made myself known. I'm like, oh, hey, it's me. And she responded to my comments. So now I'm like, it was just amazing. So I just wanted to share that with my people because I shared it in a small reading I did on my members page, which people keep asking me how to get to that. And I don't actually know because I'm not good with technology. I did share a link in my description box, but I don't actually know how to find it myself. So I can't help you, but I did mention it in the members reading I did because I just had to tell somebody, but I really wanted to tell my soul tribe. So thank you for listening. See, if I know that some of you aren't used to soul tribe, but I do. Sometimes I just ramble like this in soul tribe readings. So thank you for listening. And I just wanted to share that very special moment with my besties here in my soul tribe, because again, if you had told me 3 years ago that would happen, I would have been like, you're nuts. But it did, and it was amazing. So I just wanted to share that with you. So I grabbed an oracle deck without even thinking. I don't even know what oracle deck this is. I just grabbed it. I don't know if you saw that. I don't even remember grabbing it. I didn't even consciously think about it. My hand just reached for it, and here it is. So what deck is this even? The Law of Positivism. Why do I have such a hard time saying that? The Law of Positivism. I like to say the Law of Positivity because it's easier for me to say. But this is the deck we're using today, so we're just going to get a few cards. Again, thank you for listening to my very long info dump. But again, I just wanted to share it with my friends here because you're all so supportive, and it's just, again, it's a moment that I will never forget because, like I said, I was almost I'm a very shy person, and I never wanted to tell her that I started my own channel or draw attention to myself. I know that sounds crazy because I do videos every day, but I actually don't like drawing attention to myself. So I just never told her how much she meant to me and what an influence she had on my life. And she's the reason why now I question that black and white thinking. And again, she's just been a shining light for me. And she was the reader who encouraged me to shine my light for others. And now I encourage my readers to shine their light. And do you see how shining your light works? It makes me emotional thinking about it because her light encouraged me to shine my light. And now I'm encouraging my friends here to shine their light. And just think about how bright the world will be if we all start shining our lights everywhere. So anyway, and you don't have to be in the public spotlight to shine your light. You can be a light worker in disguise. You don't have to be in the spotlight. You can just shine your light and affect the people around you and help raise the vibration of the world. So don't feel like, you need to be in the spotlight to do so, because you don't. But again, it was just like this really magical moment for me, and I wanted to share it with my best friends, because you are my best friends. All right, so what do we have? We have, I listen to the voice of my body. It lets me know exactly what I need. So let's read that. I have this one hair today that's been absolutely driving me nuts. It just doesn't want to conform. It doesn't, it wants to, anyway, it doesn't want to conform to the rest of my hairs. So really, I relate to that little hair. 5. Your body is your soul's loyal friend, and it helps you experience life in this embodiment. It is the physical manifestation of your soul and of life, and to be in partnership with your body, you need to listen to it with unconditional patience and love. Are you in tune with your body's messages and signals? Are you hearing what it tells you, or are you numbing the body and discarding what it is trying to say? A considerable part of our soul's journey is to experience physical embodiment and to constantly remember why we chose this body. Your body holds the stories of your ancestors and the earth. It is an intricate, there we go. If I'm looking at it, it doesn't make sense, but if I look away and think about it, I can say it. And complex system that is truly divine and miraculous. Now is the time to understand your body's sacredness and to be in communion with it. The body speaks to us in subtle ways. That's not an affirmation, but maybe your name's Mary. It was a YouTube tarot channel. Oh, it's 444. You're protected. The body speaks to us in subtle ways until things have gone too far and we haven't been listening. Then the body speaks to us loud and clear through imbalances that ask us to stop and contemplate what needs to be changed. Now is the time to listen and merge with this physical practice. So I know all about this. I am someone who used to push and push and push and push and push myself until my body would give out on me. And what that looks like is like sickness. So getting a cold, migraines, back pain, throwing your back out, throwing your knee out. I think I've had a knee issue while I've been doing soul tribe readings in the past, but because I was pushing myself. Like a crick or kink in the neck, whatever you call it. Ear infection. If you push your body too hard without allowing it to rest, that's what will happen. Your body will tell you it's time to rest. Your body will force you to slow down. So it's very important to listen to your body. So if you're feeling like you need to rest before you get sick. Rest before you get injured. If your body is telling you that you need to slow down, slow down. If your body is telling you you're doing too much, listen to it. Your body does speak to you. And you can learn how to listen to the signs of your body. Your body can also speak to you, like, me in my readings, I'm always talking about like, oh, my throat's closing over. This means this. Oh, I'm having chills. This means this. Oh, I'm having a hot flash. This means this. So your body does speak to you. Again, that hair, look at it. It does not want to conform. It's tickling me. Grounding practice to listen deeper. Take time to be still, whether in nature, your home, the bath, or wherever you feel the most comfortable. Still your mind and attune to your body by sensing each part. Start at the top of your head and work your way down to your feet. If your body is giving you any physical signs and symptoms, ask what it needs to come back into balance. So the bear represents grounding and physical healing. The moon represents nurturing. Pink rose, unconditional love. the Haraman Kurdistan, I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right, Spirit of the Mountains. So some of the symbols in that. I do study symbols and symbology, is that what it's called? And that's why I'm always talking about it with reading tarot, is like, oh, seriously. I'm always talking about, oh, this means this and this means this. So that's why I'm mentioning it to you. So let's get another one. Tell me what you did this weekend. I want to know. We have, well, two came out. So I'm going to take them. We have 38. I have an energetic body and the power to transform myself and my life. Beautiful. And we have 48. The divine is always supporting and guiding me. I love that. Froggy in my throat. Cleansing, releasing, healing. See, your body speaks to you. You just have to listen. So 38, I have an energetic body and the power to transform my life. The physical body is the densest aspect of our being, and sometimes we forget that we are more than that. The body is sacred and given by Mother Earth to embody herself in many forms. But the energy that resides in us, keeping the body and life going, goes beyond the physical, emotional, and mental body. Can you feel the energy streaming through you? This life force energy sustains life and exists in all living forms, and we are part of one energy body in different shapes and densities. You can feel the vibration and energy surrounding you and emitted by the earth. It is the source of life, and it has the power to transform. Just as a cold glass of water gets warmer when left at room temperature, resonating with the air around it, so we can move beyond the limitations of the physical body, enter this higher frequency body, and experience transformation. Sensing your energetic body. Use this exercise for as long as you want and as often as you need to remind yourself that you have an energetic body that can transform everything. Sit in stillness and silence, focusing on breathing through your nostrils. Sense the air against your skin and the clothes on your body. Feel the weight under your body and the pull of gravity. Then start sensing the flow of energy in your body. Really feel the force. Also notice the energy surrounding your body, almost hugging you. Then notice certain areas of the body that might have a stronger energetic sensation around the heart and crown. Alchemical symbol, is that how you say it? Alchemical? Squaring the circle connected to the Philosopher's Stone and the transfusion and transformation of energy. And then we have the divine is always supporting me and guiding me, and I believe that. I used to feel very alone until I woke up. Now I feel like the universe always has my back. You are never alone, see? You are never alone, and when opening up to... And seriously, when I was going through my dark night of the soul, I started speaking to I was not religious, and I just started speaking to whoever's out there, if you could help me, if you could guide me, and the divine answered. And now I know that I'm not alone, and that's who I talk to when I do feel alone. And then I talk to them even when I don't feel alone. You are never alone, and when opening up to walk the highest path of healing and spiritual development, you will be provided with everything you need. It is said that the most essential practice is spiritual because it reminds us that we are more than we think and surrounded by and a part of this great mystery. Most of us have experienced a glimpse of the one that has given birth to all. In these moments, we feel a divine communion, connection, and inner peace. We are not separated from the divine. It is an illusion of separation and thinking that we are individuals and not one soul living and breathing through all of us that leaves us in despair. Dedicate yourself to returning to the embrace of the source of all creation and be open to receiving support in everything you need. Another meditation. Create stillness in your mind, sitting or lying comfortably, and focus on your breath. Sense the lightness of your body and start visualizing stepping out from your body. See yourself seated or lying down and state, I am not my body. In this light state, rise towards the sky and the universe and see a warm light portal inviting you in. Imagine this portal being and the entrance into the cosmic womb. Stay in this space and ask for divine guidance and support. Let yourself become immersed in energy and light. Pay attention to visions and verbal guidance you might receive. When you are ready, start to descend back into your body and feel the weight of your body and full embodiment. So symbols, the cycle, the moon phases, cycle of life and our inner cycles, the owl, inner wisdom and higher consciousness. And can I tell you guys something? And I might sound crazy to some people who don't do this. But sometimes when I'm meditating, and I don't know how to describe what I see because everybody's like what they see when they meditate, what they experience is different. But for me, I actually can see light, like light. I know this, it's not going to sound crazy to you. It would sound crazy to anybody else, but it's not going to sound crazy to you. Sometimes I can feel light coming towards me and like almost like orbs of light, like coming in, but sometimes they're going out. And recently, it was just a couple days ago, I was doing a meditation and they were going out. This energy was going out. So I was actually sending my soul tribe. I was imagining you all. And again, I know this sounds woo to anybody else. I can feel it coming from here. Like I can see the light when I close my eyes. I can't see it right now because I'm not meditating. But I can see like light coming from me going outward. So I was purposely sending you, you know, when I say I'm sending you lots of love and light, I was actually sending you light. I was like sending you light orbs. And again, I know that sounds weird to people who maybe don't know what I'm talking about, but I was literally sending my soul tribe light the other day. So I just wanted to tell you that in case you felt it. And just, you know, let you know that I do think about you. So let's get one more. And then I might get that other deck. I release negative thoughts about myself and my life. Yes. Look, an orb of light shooting out. You can also visualize like releasing those negative energies, kind of the same way I was just talking about visualizing sending you light. Again, that hair, look at it. It does not want to conform. I will not conform. I am more than I was programmed to be. 13. I release negative thoughts about myself and my life. The source of suffering, according to many wisdom traditions and religions, is desire and attachment, as it leads to a sense of lack and deflects us from the divine. Mind-formed desires are tinted by our external programming, and the illusion that we are only physical beings. This can lead us to a sense of comparison and lack because separateness becomes our truth, and that is the truth. Negative thought patterns remove us from abundance. I needed to make sure that was recording. Negative thought patterns remove us from the abundance and fullness of the present moment. These thoughts can be down to years and years of programming, false beliefs and doubts that have imprinted our minds to see the world in a specific way. They are attached to experiences that we haven't healed from. The only way to release negative thoughts is to face them, just like the commenters, is to face them and transform them into energy that helps you grow. The first step of working with your thoughts is to become aware of them, both conscious and subconscious, to observe them objectively. When something is seen and acknowledged, you give it the possibility to heal and release. And this is so important because, again, no hate towards my parents. They're heavily programmed people. But like, I was always taught to sweep negative thoughts and our traumas and bad experiences underneath the carpet and to not think about them. But you need to think about them and face them and your shadows in order to heal them and release them. Otherwise, they just accumulate. You accumulate that baggage. So it's very important to face them. And again, that's what I'm talking about, facing the people in my comment section. For a long time, I avoided my comment section because I could not take the negative comments. And again, I know that some people will tell me, you shouldn't let it get to you. You shouldn't let it get to you. And I really am, like, I'm in a much better place now. They don't get to me. Yes, that one the other day got to me because I was feeling weak. But I'm a work in progress, and you can't just snap your fingers and heal. You can't just snap your fingers. Sometimes you have to face them, just like I'm talking about facing those negative comments, right? I recently heard Esotero talking about that. She filmed a reading, like I think she filmed it a year and a half ago, and she was talking to her commenters about how she was doing the same thing, how she was currently going through the process of facing those comments so that she could desensitize herself to them so they would no longer bother her. And that's a process. Anyway, maybe the fact that I'm talking about this so much, maybe some of you struggle with the way that the other people see you. Again, how someone else's opinion of you is not a reflection of who you are. It's a reflection of them. Ways to release negative thoughts. Journal which thoughts hold you back and see if you can trace them back to when they first started. Focus on that time and see what needs to be healed. Meditate with your breath and consciously watch each limiting thought release from your body as you exhale. Repeat affirmations as a replacement for the negative word chatter by using empowering, loving, and accepting words that help to form new thought patterns. Examples of affirmations. And hardcore mode, difficult mode, do this while staring at yourself in the mirror. I love myself and my life. I am exactly where I need to be. I am whole and complete. Keep a daily gratitude journal and focus on what you appreciate and are grateful for. And that's another thing. If you have the opportunity or can do gratitude journaling, it's very helpful. It kind of changes the way you look at your life. And you find yourself, it becomes like a practice to where even when you're not journaling about what you're grateful for, you're noticing things everywhere to be grateful for, including little birds who land on their bums and do a little scoot across my deck because I've mentioned that before. I was really grateful for that moment and I've never forgotten it. If you don't know what I'm talking about because you're new, that was one of my gratitude things one day is I was sitting on my deck and I had this bird land at my feet and he didn't know I was there because I was sitting so still. And once he realized I was there, he like fell on his bum and did this little butt scoot across my deck. And it was the cutest thing I've ever seen. I mean, it was one of the cutest little things that I've ever seen. I seem to remember I used these decks in Soul Tribe before. They're right next to each other, so I'm going to grab the one right next to it and just get a card out of that one too. Just because I'm curious before we get to that book. We have gift yourself. Do something nice for yourself. We're always doing like buying gifts for other people and doing acts of service for other people. Do something nice for yourself. Gift yourself. That's what I'm hearing. We have clear limiting beliefs. F those limiting beliefs. Go away. You're not welcome here. Limiting beliefs keep you stuck. They imprison you. That's why limiting beliefs is the Eight of Swords. And you see someone with a prison of swords around them. The power of silence. Interesting. So I'm feeling called to just shuffle, which is interesting. I will say power of silence. I recently was talking to somebody about, I'm not sure if I don't know a lot about other religions or spiritual practices, but I think that monks or Buddhists, I don't know which one, or are they the same? I don't know. I don't want to offend anyone. But they take a vow of silence and they go into solitary and silence so that they can connect with spirit and their higher self. So silence is powerful. But anyway, let's see what you need to hear. Gift yourself. What the heck? That was magical. Okay, we get it. That's a sign. That was a little bit magical, was it not? Gift yourself. What is the best gift you have ever received? What was it about the gift that made it feel so special? Maybe the gift made you feel loved, seen, and understood. We all love receiving gifts, but it can also feel joyful to give a thoughtful gift to someone else, spending time and effort thinking about what they would love. What if you could gift yourself with that same level of love and thoughtfulness? What do you deserve? No. Yes, what do you deserve, but what do you desire in this moment? Here's your chance to give a gift to yourself, a gesture of self-love because you're worth it. So do something nice for yourself. How to gift yourself. Write yourself a gift list of things that would feel truly lovely to receive. A massage, a candle, some bath salts, a cinema trip, a change of scenery. Look through your list to discover what you desire most right now. It is an exercise in both receiving and exploring your desires and what your body is craving in this moment. Then go ahead and gift yourself. And I'm like working on receiving. I'm working on receiving. I'm still working on that one. I'm someone like when it's my kids' birthdays or it's Christmas, I put a lot of thought into the gifts I give. I like make mental notes. I remember like very specific details about people and my friends of what they like so that I can, give them a gift. I'm still working on doing that for myself, but I'm getting better. So maybe, again, not maybe, you need to give yourself a gift. And if you're telling me right now that, well, I don't want to waste the money, you are worth gifting yourself something. So please gift yourself something. And then I want you to tell me what it was so that I know that you've done it. Because otherwise you might not do it. Otherwise those self-limiting beliefs, you could make up an excuse as to why you don't deserve a gift or why now is not the right time to give yourself a gift. If you can give someone else a gift, you can give yourself a gift, right? Let's get one more from this deck. All right. What is meant for you will find you. Truth. What is meant for you will find you, and what is meant for you will not pass you by. And on the bottom, we have stop pushing and stop pushing and start striving. So anyway, what's meant for you will not pass you by. And it will find you. I believe it. I just heard, I believe. There is something wonderful coming for you, and it will find you when you stop pushing. What did I just say? Stop pushing. That card on the bottom says stop pushing. It'll come to you when you stop pushing against life and instead surrender to it. Have you been rejected by something or by someone only to find out a little later that the reason you didn't get that thing or person was because something or someone even more perfect was just around the corner? That is because what is meant for you will find you. Sometimes you can overplan life by overthinking, believing you should do or have a particular thing by a certain time. Again, programming. Even if on some level you know it isn't right. By doing this, you are blocking yourself from what is trying to find you. Having direction and a rough plan can be a good thing, but don't be limited by this. Open yourself up to other possibilities and divert in ways that present themselves to you. Let go of what isn't for you and create space for what is coming. How to allow what is coming to find you. It's just like just think about it for a minute. I'm just being called to this morning where I'm buying, I did a grocery order and I'm getting vegetables and fruit. And before I can put those fresh veggies and fruit in the veggie drawer and the fruit bowl, I have to get rid of the rotten stuff that's no longer serving me. Does that make sense? Like, if you can do it for your groceries, you can do it for yourself. Create space in your life. You might be so busy that you are not letting the unexpected in. Make space in your schedule for space itself. Go for a daily walk, sit for meditation whenever you can, take a long relaxing bath, or do any other practice that allows your mind to relax. You need to carve out the time to see things from a new perspective. Notice what is being drawn to you rather than what you are having to battle against. Surrender from the battle and allow yourself to receive. I'm just going to do one more. I said 2, but I'm feeling called to get one more. I like the number 3. Maybe that's why. I think I got 3 from the other deck. Maybe I got 4. I can't remember. Show me one more card for my soul tribe. Yesterday in a reading, again, it was that member reading. And I don't want you to feel like you're missing out on anything if you're not a member. You're not missing out on anything. But I was talking about a dream I had, and I saw a bubble, like an orb, with my eyeballs. Like, sometimes I see them in my videos, or I see them in other readers' videos. You see like an orb going across the screen. But like, I was talking about my dream, and all of a sudden I saw like an actual, like with my eyeballs, I saw a bubble in front of me. It was like, it's happened to me before, but I'm just, you know what I'm like a child. I never get sick of the magic. It never gets old for me. It's always like, like magic. Bubbles. Ground from the root. Ground from the root, number 5. Oh, look, magic. See, it never gets old. I always think it's magical when you get the card that the cover is, because that tells me that that was the creator's favorite image. If they used it for the cover, it must have been the one that spoke to them the most, or their favorite one. So I always find that magical when that happens. Again, it never gets old. Ground from the root. Escape your overthinking. I'm seeing a theme here. I'm seeing a theme about overthinking and limited beliefs. Escape from your overthinking mind and ground yourself in your body right down to your roots. And this is another meditation you can do. I'm not sure what this meditation is going to talk about, but you can do a meditation where you visualize like roots coming out of you, out of your body. Like, let's say you're laying on your bed. You imagine them coming out of like your head and your back and your legs and your feet, and you imagine them going through, like if you're laying on your bed, you imagine the roots going through your bed. You imagine them going through the floorboards of your house. You imagine them going into the foundation of your house and then right into the ground, into the center of the earth or whatever. I'm sure you could find a better explanation of that meditation than what I just said, but that is something that people do. I've done it. You are spending too much time in your thoughts, which are holding you in your past or predicting an uncertain future. When you are grounded, you are fully present in your body. There is a deep wisdom that can be found there, the insights from your own life experiences, plus the wisdom of your ancestors who have walked before you. It's time to get rooted in nature and connect fully to your body to rediscover the strength that lies deep within you. And if you can do this outside, even better. Like if you could go lay at a park and do this and visualize it, lay under a tree, lay on the grass and do this, that works even better. But if you're doing it in your home, visualize the roots going through your bed. I already said it. Find a comfortable seat out in nature if possible and close your eyes. Notice the ground supporting you. Begin to deepen your breath, inhaling for 4 seconds and then exhaling for 4. Visualize roots growing into the earth beneath you. Follow your awareness as it takes you deeper into the earth until you reach its very center. Repeat these words of affirmation. I am grounded and rooted in the deep wisdom of my body. So, let's get that book now. Again, I'm not going to read the whole part. I think part 2 is quite long. So I'll just read a few pages today. And then I'm going to bookmark it and we'll continue it. Bark, 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 bark. I'll continue it another day. So where do I want to stop here? Okay, I'm going to read until our collective inheritance, and I'm going to use, how interesting, I'm going to use this card as a bookmark, and it says surrender to receive. So I'll read until I hit that bookmark. Compassion for ourselves and others along the journey. And I was talking about that robot. It's not their fault, it's just their programming. The desire to know your own soul will end all other desires. Rumi. Regardless of how you feel about yourself or your life right now, it's essential to understand that if your perspective isn't rooted in unconditional love, it is not the truth of your full potential. It's a subjective perspective you are temporarily experiencing that is coming from a wounded theme of consciousness. Remember, we talked about wounded theme of consciousness the other day. I did share, it's in that Soul Tribe reading, and I shared the picture of the chart so that you can look at it. Your true self is perfect, loving awareness. The greatness of your potential is pure innocence, stainless, and invincible joy. You are innately accepted, unconditionally loved, whole, and complete, despite what you've been through or what the external world is telling you. You are infinitely guided, supported, and provided for by your Creator. You have access to infinite possibilities right now. Your very existence is proof of how loved and cherished you are, even if you can't see it yet. The question is, do you believe this? We invite you to read the next few lines out loud and honestly examine how you feel. We recommend pausing between each line so that you can become aware of the sensations in your body in connection with each affirmation. Self-honesty is the first step in revealing your current anatomy of consciousness. So, I'm going to show you this list, and then I want you to try saying them out loud to yourself later, because I'm going to tell them to you. And pausing between each one. What did it say? And examine how you feel. So say each one and then reflect how you feel. Like, does it feel wrong to say it? Why does it feel wrong? I am pure. Do you not feel pure? What about you isn't pure? Like, reflect on that. And hard mode, do it in the mirror, looking yourself in the eyes. So here is the list for screenshotting purposes. Screenshot it. Do it. And now I'm just going to read out the list. But again, you should do this later. Again, hard mode, do it in the mirror, staring yourself in your eyeballs. And then take a moment to reflect on how it makes you feel when you say these things. If it triggers you, why is it triggering you? If you don't believe it, why do you not believe it? Where does that come from? I am pure. I am innocent. I am already worthy. I forgive myself and others. I am wanted and needed. I am seen. I am free from my past. I have no regrets. I face my fears with courage. I expect the best case scenario. I can already feel like some of you, the limited beliefs, just the fact that we had so many cards about limited beliefs, I can already feel like that one's going to be hard. I have everything I need. I am fully satisfied in my life. I easily celebrate the success of others. I have no enemies. I am honest. I go with the flow. I trust I will always be okay. I am unique and gifted. I am talented. I am inspired and inspiring. I am a success. My life is a success. I see only opportunities. My life has extraordinary meaning. My future is positive and bright. Everything is working out for my benefit. Oh no, there's more. Whoops. I'm going to have to just take a video of this after. I am brilliant. I have access to genius ideas. I am intelligent. I am at peace in every moment. I am completely loved. I see the goodness in everyone and everything. I see divine love all around. So now I need to pause it and take a picture, or I need to take a video of it for you. Hang on. That's the last one. I didn't know the list went on to the other page. Is it recording? Yes, it is. Is it? Yes, it is. I just need to make sure. What do you think about all of this? Pay special attention to any of the affirmations that made you cringe or squirm with discomfort or avoidance. Notice what the mind has to say. Perhaps something to the effect of, "This is stupid, you don't know me, this is just too much." Or perhaps it attempts to rush through and overlook the statements and not take them too seriously. "Okay, I get it. Let's skip the next few lines. How long is this going to go on for? Yeah, I love myself." All in attempt to run away and avoid looking at what is really being triggered. You will never be free until you free yourself from the prison of your own false thoughts. Truth. This is our first demonstration of what your mind is doing to you when it is exposed to anything outside of your current spectrum of consciousness. The mind has created an identity for you that is unknowingly attached to suffering and limitations. This shadow identity doesn't want to let go of the control and the familiarity of playing small because it is afraid of trusting in the goodness of life and losing its happiness. It is unable to truly accept the goodness because it thinks that love and happiness are things that can be acquired, lost, or stolen, depending on other people and circumstances. Yet the truth is, feeling happy, loving ourselves, and believing in the goodness of life are all internal commitments unrelated to the ever-changing outer world. We are the only ones who are in control of how we experience our lives. We are that powerful. The mind's defense against these optimistic affirmations is proof of the limitations it is putting on you and your experience of reality right now. In order to liberate yourself from the limitations of your mind, you must release and replace the root program beliefs, which are preventing you from experiencing the love, peace, happiness, and freedom you are seeking. Anything and everything that is not of everything and anything that is of the not self must go in order for you to break free. It is this inner shedding and letting go process which makes practicing the inner work uncomfortable at times. How tightly you cling on to your old self-image will determine the difficulty of the process. You must have the courage to look at your shadows with honesty and take accountability. You must have the willingness to, I just want to make sure it's not going to cut me off. You must have the willingness to let go of rationalizing wounded behaviors and thought patterns. You might find that letting go is harder than you think because you're conditioning to get, do, defend, prove, or blame. Yet the process of actualizing happiness has always been an acceptance, surrender, and humble allowance. Surrender. We must be willing to let go of the life we planned so as to have the life that is waiting for us. Joseph Campbell. Accepting more for yourself. There are no boundaries to your happiness, divine abilities, and expressions of gratitude. If you only surrender resistance to accepting this truth, no one has more access to happiness, divine creativity, or greatness than you do. We all share an equal access to infinite joy, fulfillment, and peace. There is nothing actually to change, fix, or do out there in the world in order to actualize your happiness. The real solutions are all within you. You only need to allow them to come to you. You are the one in control of how much you resist or how much you receive. Nothing else needs to change but yourself. You can do it. When we resist our lives, we create greater separation from the truth of who we really are. The more separate we feel from our true self of love and joy, the more powerless we feel. And the more powerless we feel, the more we suffer. We are inviting you to demonstrate your love for yourself by waking up to your own power. Accept that no one and no thing outside of yourself can ever steal your peace or your joy ever again. It's not about what has happened to you. It is how you decide to respond that determines the quality of your life. This is your life, and only you are in control of how it is experienced. Although it may be uncomfortable at first, the truth will empower you and set you free. The world we live in is the world we choose to live in, whether consciously or unconsciously. If we choose bliss, that's what we get. If we choose misery, we get that too. Tony Robbins. Exploring our resistance. Maybe your mind is thinking, but my story is worse or different, or this doesn't apply to me because fill in the blanks. Fill in the blank with your mind's favorite rationalization as to why you can't be happy and free right now. And you will see your own resistance clearly. Release it. Froggy in my throat. Cleansing, releasing, healing. That person, there's like air trying to escape right now, so release it. That person, that situation, that past event, or future worry, whatever your story is, your attachment to it, froggy in my throat, release, cleanse, heal. Your attachment to it is the very thing blocking you from true freedom and lasting happiness you are seeking. The first spiritual trap is to perceive your happiness as outside of yourself. Yes. Dr. David R. Hawkins. The good news is, the rationalizations you are experiencing are just stories your mind is telling you. This means they are not intrinsically or objectively true. They are just one opinion and perspective out of infinite possibilities. We can always choose to see our past or current situations from a different perspective, and in doing so, everything about it changes. For example, we can see our setbacks as signs of our own weakness and inability, or we can see them as optimistically as signs of growth, change, and evolution. It's not the setback itself that determines our experience of it, but our perspective and response. I know this might seem shocking to you, but a few years ago, my friend convinced me to watch Jersey Shore, and I didn't want to watch it, but I was a people pleaser, so I was like, okay, I'll watch it. And I ended up watching the whole thing. But there was a person on there who, this is not in the book, there was a person on there who, he had a lot of problems, and he overcame all of those problems, and he became like this motivational speaker. And I just heard him in my head, The Situation, if you know what I'm talking about, then you can't judge me because you know exactly what I'm talking about. But I'm hearing him say, the comeback is greater than the setback. I just heard that, so I wanted to mention it. As we continue along this journey together, you will begin to see that the mind's insistence on blaming things outside of itself is something that we all innocently inherited as part of being human being. Have compassion for yourself as you explore your own resistances to being truly happy, and just know your resistances do not define you. I kind of want to start a new part, but I'll just wait. They are something you are experiencing, but they are not who you are. Doing the inner work means your shadows and unhealed wounds will be revealed to you in order to be understood, accepted, and finally released and transcended. However, it is important to point out that your shadows will continue to evolve as you do, so you must always maintain humility and vigilance of any possible new blind spots as you progress. Every stage of human evolution has its own obstacles and temptations to be aware of. Therefore, the inner work is a contemplative lifestyle approach, not something to attain or a destination to arrive at. I'm going to start a new part. Knowing the tenacity of the mind, you must be kind to yourself in order to fully heal any wounds you uncover. The best way to find compassion is to see that your experiences are impersonal, and not actually about you, but just what you are experiencing. Do not confuse the limiting internal dialogue inside of your mind as the ultimate reality. One of our favorite Sanskrit mantras to repeat is Neti. Neti? Is that how you say it? I don't know. Meaning not this. I am not my past. I am not my trauma. I am not this fear. I am not this thought. I am not this guilt. I am not this doubt. I am not this story. I kind of think you should write that down if you're feeling called to. Like, I feel very called to take a picture of that. And like anytime I feel triggered, I'm going to start saying that. In order to be reborn as your true self, which is free from real rationalizations and excuses, and to accept the infinite peace we speak of, you must release attachment to the shadow identity and resistances your mind has constructed over your lifetime. This may be difficult to do at first because an untamed mind will fight to reinforce its past programming. This defensiveness is not personal, just how the mind works. Wounded themes of consciousness like rejection, judgment, overwhelm, loss, distrust, inadequacy, violation, and insecurity become so familiar to us that the mind strives to defend, yes, its belief systems through an incessant internal dialogue. And that's exactly what I was talking about was happening to me with that comment. Again, netty. I am not my past. I am not my trauma. I am not this fear. I am not this thought. I am not this guilt. I am not this doubt. I am not this story. I am not what this person is telling me I am. This constant inner dialogue of thoughts will automatically reinforce, support, and seek validation for perspectives. Unless we become aware of what is actually taking place, we will never be able to move on from it. Know that uprooting these mental narratives would mean the death of an identity the mind has worked so hard to formulate, and so we must have compassion during this revealing process. We all have accumulated rationalizations as to why we can't possibly, maybe someone's from Boston, why we can't possibly be so loved, accepted, happy, and free as we are. The mind says things like, don't embarrass yourself, you're not good enough, you'll just fail, what will they think of you? And it's making me think of that Adam Sandler, they're all going to laugh at you. The mind tells us that we can only be happy when other people or our circumstances change. If he would just ask me to marry him, if she would just stop nagging me, if I had more money, if I paid off my debt, if I moved. The internal dialogue even tries to convince us that we need to struggle and fight for our deserved happiness. It's a cold, tough world out there. Better be the best if I want to succeed. There's not enough for everyone. Better earn it. They are my competition. These mental narratives of lack and limitation keep us from ever stepping outside of our conditioned spectrum of consciousness and experiencing something new and inspiring. Something so radical and extraordinary. Not because it is special in any particular way, but only radical because so few people accept it for themselves. All have equal access to happiness and greatness. If experiencing true love, lasting joy, and inner peace are rare, it is only because so few have the courage to put down their suffering and have faith in the goodness of life. Commitment is key. Notice that even when we're right on the cusp of becoming a higher version of our potential, the boundaries within our mind keep us in check by convincing us that we can't do it. It won't work. We'll look dumb. It just wasn't meant for us. This probably won't work. I waited too long. What if I can't do it? This is just the way things are. I'm fine with it. I should just stop trying. We start to believe that we aren't one of the lucky special people who gets the opportunity to be happy and carefree. Must be nice to be them. They are just rich. If I had their life, I'd be happy too. We then attribute blame to our conditions, circumstances, and even the world for this plight. The system is so corrupt. The world is so unfair. Life is stressful and hard. My situation is different. This doesn't apply to me. I can't change. The most important realization the inner work is that the source of our dissatisfaction is the mind's internal dialogue, not the subject of its complaints. Change is terrifying to the untamed mind. I'm just making sure it's not going to cut me off. Change is terrifying to the untamed mind. Even when exposed to true happiness through witnessing it in others, it will reject it outright through denial or projection. Most minds are actually very suspicious of someone emulating genuine innocence, unconditional love, and inner peace. Seeing someone else shine their light unapologetically can trigger an insecure mind. Yes. Sorry. I'm not sorry. Stop apologizing. I try to be more understanding of others. That was the affirmation that just popped down. But just like my mentor, her light that she was shining unapologetically triggered my insecurity, just like I trigger a lot of people. They are so fake. They are so naive. Do you know how much I hear that? How naive I am? They don't know what it's like to struggle. They haven't had enough life experience. They'll see. So although it is happiness and freedom you are seeking, it is crucial to recognize that even while you are yearning to elevate yourself, there is still a huge part of you, an ego, shadow identity, stuck in a wounded theme of consciousness that does actually not want you to succeed in awakening. The only enemy to ever exist is an internal one. It is hiding in the very last place you'd ever look, within yourself. So that's where we're going to stop it. But I often talk about how our ego or our wounded theme of consciousness, our shadows, they don't want us to succeed. And that's why so many people, right before they hit the state of enlightenment or they're about to get their manifestation or whatever, their ego starts like, this will never happen. You're just crazy. You should just give up. And so many people give up before they reach that. Anyway. It's getting dark here. So I'm going to go now, my friends. But again, thank you for being here with me for a Soul Tribe reading. I did not realize how much I was missing Soul Tribe readings. They truly do lift me up. I don't care who watches them, as long as one person relates. And I love my soul family here. And if you're listening to this, you must be my soul family, because who else would sit and listen? if you weren't part of, I'm drooling, if you weren't part of my soul family or soul tribe, and I wasn't part of yours, right? We connect for a reason. And I couldn't do this without you. So again, remember, when I say that I'm sending you love and light, now you know at the end of my love readings, when I'm like sending you lots of love and light, now you know I actually am. I'm imagining sending you light and love. So I hope you feel it, because I feel yours, and I'm sending you lots of love and light. And I will see you for the next Soul Tribe reading, which should be, I'll see if I can do one tomorrow. Hang on. I just didn't want to say goodbye to you with my dogs losing their minds. But anyway, I'm wishing you a good night. I'll see you in my comment section. And I love you. Bye.